I was actually thinking that maybe some people might think they couldn't breathe during that 30 seconds.
So can you tell me your name and a little bit about your background?
Yes, my name is Paolo Black, and I've got a black background.
And this is kids.
There's clearly a real dedication to telling stories that are important and that are true and that say something real.
Storytelling has been important since day one of man.
Yeah, it's more than important, it's essential.
There's this core idea here of letting the story emerge on its own.
There's not necessarily going to be a big, bold-faced moral, but you want someone to go away with their perspective changed somehow.
When you look at what we try to accomplish in this week, it's really about creating character-driven, cinematic narratives, where we don't just go take someone's photograph. We spend the time to give them a voice, to allow them to tell their own story.
I have 3 girls. My brother has 3 girls and a son.
Photojournalism is kind of a one big happy family, and we like that family. We want to see everyone just keep growing and getting better and challenging us as well. We really care about the people whose stories we tell, and we think that the more people we train, then the better it's going to be for everyone.
One of the great secrets about this workshop is that we learn a ton during this week.
I like that better than that.
You never really learn something until you teach it.
Our story is about Chrissy Cocktail, and she is the knife-throwing target of Throdini at the Coney Island Circus sideshow.
We've uncovered that she had a life where she was drifting.
Who's gonna have the most exotic tattoo? Who's gonna have the funniest tattoo?
We didn't really know where the story would lead, but it started off with a lot of potential.
You don't even have to have a tattoo to win Best Buds. In fact, those 2 photographers right over there, those cinematographers are thinking of entering because they love to show their gluteus maximi. Yes, indeed. In fact, they photograph each
I like to think of my team as something akin to the opening of Reservoir Dogs. When everyone's walking down the street in slow motion and you just know they're gonna kick ass. That's how I feel about my team. Multimedia is a very powerful way to tell stories. There's something special about combining video and sound and still photography that really is beautiful to watch when it's done well.
You can't help but get up out of this bath completely wet with inspiration and joy and a feeling of moving ahead, with what you're doing. There's no doubt that the future is multimedia. No doubt about that at all.
This story is about these twin brothers.
Tick and tack.
They call themselves breakdancers, but now they have more of an all-around show with comedy.
They shout for people to gather around, and they do their show, and they've got this big build-up, and then they ask everybody for money.
The great thing about this story is that Tick and Tack do the show 4 or 5 times a day. So we're able to go back, one time just shoot the crowd, one time shoot close-ups, one time shoot from this angle.
It's really different for me being on a team. Usually it's just me and my camera.
It's really hard, and I would say almost impossible for one person to do these kind of pieces. I mean, you really need people who are specialists in their field. The key is to find good people who are great at what they do and combine those talents, and what you get is amazing.
When you put a team together, it's more a multiplying effect. an additive effect. It's a sort of feedback. Somebody can think about something in a different way than I do.
If you collaborate with like-minded people who have a variety of skills, the whole thing elevates.
We had a moment to stop and download our cards, and I looked at Doug and Deanne's footage, and I was like, this is something that, like, I'm excited about, you know? I feel like Stan, our editor, who is a great guy, I'm like, Stan, get out of the way. I want to edit this myself. It's great to be in such a situation where everybody's excited about what we're doing.
Got it? This gentleman, you've read about him, you've heard about him.
Sure, is that good enough, or you want a big one?
You've seen him in the movies. Come on up here, Jimmy. Come right on up here, sir. You can't come up here? Okay, I'll come down to you, sir. And the people all sit down.
Come on, come on.
No, he's taking the camera.
I bought sustenance for the crew.
This way.
This way.
There you go, there you go.
My friend. I want the one with the frosting on the outside. I just love the frosting. So if I start slurring my words, don't worry about it, as long as you don't slur yours.
Yeah, I understand.
Believe me, it's hitting the spot absolutely perfectly. Oh. Did you hear that?
I learned a lot from Paolo because he's quite a personality.
Is this shooting black and white?
Listening to him do the interviews was an education because he slowly and calmly led them through these stories and pulled great stuff out of them.
Describe for me being two.
Oh, well, two was crazy because I had me and my brother.
It was a long, long day, and I'd had enough. We've got 2 two-hour interviews, and there's lots of good material in it, but I'm exhausted, not just from the physicality of doing it. In fact, I would say that's only 1/3 of the exhaustion. 2/3 of the exhaustion is that incredible, intense connection that needed to be made with those boys in order to get that material from them.
Hello. I hope what people walk away with is a newfound sense of passion about what they do. I really hope that people who leave this workshop say, that was amazing, I have to do this again. And I think if they take away a couple of tricks in the process, that's all the better. It's really about instilling the value of what we do and the method of what we do and saying, okay, you've graduated, go do this some more.
Everyone's down in journalism right now. I couldn't be more excited because in disruption, there's opportunity. There's huge opportunity for us as a profession right now. And if we don't step up, we're going to get left behind. We have to elevate our game.